Hi there, welcome to today's Wednesday webinar. It's the fourth Wednesday of the month, so we're talking seniors, ambassadors, and the great outdoors, and we'll be talking about mastery opportunities for those girls because they are at that age where they need to develop that confidence and competence in things so they recognize how powerful they are. And my friend Tammy Fisher is here in the room with me. So we both have had lots of opportunities to work with teen girls and to just see the magic that they can create. And this one really, I think this week we can really build off of what we talked about last week. If you haven't listened to the webinar we did last week on, well, what was it? Today is the 24th, so May 17th. We talked about juniors and cadets doing powerful projects, powerful planning for projects or really for running their own troop or for travel. And this builds right off of that because if you've been working with your girls along the way, empowering them to take responsibility to plan their meetings, to plan the trajectory of their troop, to plan events in their service units, to plan travel, whether it's travel to the grocery store or travel to Boston or travel to Washington or travel to the Grand Canyon, or we've got a crew who's going to be traveling to Yellowstone this summer, or it's traveling to the World Centers, wherever. If you've got your juniors and cadets involved in that planning, then they're going to slide right into this idea of mastering skills and mastering their interests, things that they're interested in, which is a skill set in and of itself. So Tammy, just jump in whenever you like. But my first thought is so many of us see our girls forever and always like they're this, you know, they were just cute and little, and it's a slightly confusing picture because they have green sashes with their brown outfits, but they look like brownies to me when I see this picture. But when they're in high school, they are like this. They're big, and they want to do some awesome things. Like here, this crew is at Versailles. You were there, weren't you, Tammy?
Yes, I was. That's our group that went to London to Lucerne.
Did you take this picture?
No, actually, I think Amanda Grimes did.
Ah, I see Amanda's sister, one of Amanda's sisters right here. I was trying to see if I recognized any of the other girls, but with sunglasses, they're all incognito, so that's a little bit harder. I love the fountains here. Makes me super happy. One time when I was here, they had these great big forms out. They were doing the topiary, and they had great big plywood sheets that they would hold along the side of the bushes and the trees so that they could carve the topiary in just the right shape, which I thought was brilliant. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go home and make that kind of topiary shape for my own bushes and trees at my house. Super, never has happened, but it was cool to see. So when they're big like this, we can't get away with doing some of the stuff that we would do when they're little like this, mainly because they've done it and they're ready for some new adventures. And something that I hear from volunteers, and Tammy, I don't know, chime in with what you hear from volunteers too, is some volunteers are hesitant to say, sure, let's go to Paris. Maybe because they haven't been there themselves or because they recognize what a big planning project that is. But when the girls are this big, they've got a lot of the skills. And even if they don't have all the skills yet and you don't have all the skills yet, you can work together and work with some resources around here to make those things happen because the reality is they're big and they can do big stuff. But when you ask how, it's you. And it's so important for grown-ups to remember how essential we are to this equation. The girls can do it, but they can only do it if we believe they can do it, and they can only do it if we communicate to them that we believe they can do it, and if we help connect them with resources so that they can do it. not it, but do this, do the planning and do this kind of stuff. So some resources that I was able to pull up and throw into the slideshow before we started was, the first and most obvious, perhaps, our website at girlscoutsofmaine.org, because our website has a lot of neat stuff. Let me just pull that up. I don't know what I was searching for, but we're going to click out of that and make this big for just a second. For example, these look like, well, they might be middle school girls, but they might be high school girls. These two look big enough to be high school girls. If we click on events and activities, we can go right in and see patch programs. We can see how to search for activities specifically for age level. If your girls are using the volunteer toolkit, they can search for activities through there as well. But lots of resources. Are Girls on the Go listed through this portal, Tammy?
If you go to about,
Go to
or our council, I can't remember. Oh yes, about, and then our program.
Okay.
And how to participate. Oh, yeah, ways to participate.
Ways to participate. Okay. Aha! Look at that. So that gives you some links for girls. I assume that Girls on the Go is going to be travel the country, maybe the world?
Actually, if you just click on travel over on the side.
So this here, it'll link you right to the destinations, and then it links you to Girls on the Go.
Right. And we just need to update our that part of our website.
Gotcha.
And that brochure.
Well, but this isn't bad. It's still accurate. It's just got some, these are older, right?
Right.
Well, and they're not even old. It's just you don't have your newest things, because 2020 is still coming up, and 2019 is still coming up, 2018 is still coming up. So if folks are looking for adventures that are a little ways out for their teen girls, they could look toward an adventure in Peru or London to Lucerne or Costa Rica or the adventure down under. Again, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get into your backpack. But this is a resource. If your girls are interested in travel, Girls on the Go is a terrific resource to help you if you don't feel like you're in a place where you could facilitate that without more help. And it walks you through, this website walks you through all sorts of things. I don't know if we have any series going on right now, but here are some series that we've had in the past, so that might give you some ideas of things that your girls would be interested in. You can just take them to them and say, hey, you want to become a jump rope master, or you want to build a robot, or explore some cool careers, because they might want to, or they might want to get involved in camping and the out of doors. Maybe your troop's never gone to Camp Skelkit down at Kittery Point, or it's never gone to Camp Notarswy up in Millinocket and is ready for that new adventure. So you could explore that. Or you can just look at what are troops doing. And these are all just little guys. Aren't they so cute? But if you look to the troops in your area, you're going to find all kinds of ideas of things that your girls could do, if not with the other troops, then for the other troops. I'm curious what this is now that I'm here. Have you seen, I know Tammy has, Tammy and I both have seen this GIRL, and if those of you listening to it haven't, explore this a little bit. Girl Scouts has, once again, just like with the Girl Scout Leadership Experience, the GSLE, somebody in marketing brilliantly observed the obvious and put it into a very accessible acronym that we can use, that when you read it, you're like, oh, yeah, exactly. Because Girl Scouts, every single Girl Scout is a go-getter, an innovator, a risk taker, and a leader, sometimes, if not all the time. And every troop has and really channels those concepts of go-getter, innovator, risk taker, and leader. Every single troop. And that's kind of the beauty of Girl Scouts. None of us has to be everything, because together we're all of it. And it's super cool. So I get all excited with that. I was talking to my sister about her troop that just bridged to cadets. And she had them brainstorming why they sell Girl Scout cookies. And she said, they said all the things that you, as an adult, you dream they'll say, like to learn to talk to people and to not be afraid to represent a product, which she said that the kid actually said it that way, which I thought was funny, or to earn money so we can do the things we want to do. And they listed off all these things, and she said no one of them said all of the things, but together they all came up with all of the things that are the real reasons why we sell Girl Scout cookies. Not just so we can sell cookies or so we can have cookies or silly surface reasons, but really the big rich reasons, which I thought was beautiful, because not only did the kids get it, my sister got it. Yay! So it always makes me happy to meet another adult volunteer, whether I'm related to or not, who gets that it's really the richness of the experience, and why we're doing what we do. So that Girl Scouts of Maine website, super resource. And then Girls on the Go, which we just pointed out via the Girl Scouts of Maine website. You can also find out more about Girls on the Go if you look back at some of the webinars we've done, because my friend Tammy here, who's spearheaded this program with GSME, has very generously given her time a few times now for us to talk about it. And do you want to do a little blurb about Girls on the Go now, Tammy?
Yes, it's a program for all girls in the state of Maine to travel, and we're getting ready to start a national program in 2019. So stay tuned for the announcements on that, so that girls 6th grade and up can travel as
How
a group.
awesome is that folks from Maine are starting the national program of Girls on the Go? I mean, I just think that is amazing and wonderful, and how exciting. As goes Maine, so goes the nation. So yay. And yay for Tammy and for her good work with this, because she invests a lot of time. I get funny emails from Tammy. I was just thinking about this. So yay. And then besides Girls on the Go, also the GSUSA website, and I made this a hyperlink so I could take you out there, but it has a lot of neat stuff. And again, I'm drawn to the travel stuff, but there's all kinds of stuff here, because it talks right to seniors and ambassadors. And this little video, which we're not going to watch the whole thing, but it shows the Young Women of Distinction. These were some of the very top gold projects that were done a couple of years ago, and every year I think they select Young Women of Distinction. They just haven't updated the video for it yet. And then they've also got little clips about girls in different states, seniors and ambassadors in different states who are making the world a better place, to give your girls some ideas of things that they could do. So I know that one of my troops felt really intimidated when they saw some of the amazing things, but it got them to sit down and think about what are some amazing things that we've done over the years in our community, and is there something bigger that we want to do, or do we want to keep what we're doing within the state of Maine, or more locally in our neighborhood, our service unit. So this is a wonderful resource to help girls get an idea. Oh my goodness, look at that. So I don't know if you saw what I did. I clicked on See How Girls Are Changing the World, and it gives you this interactive map where you can click on these trefoils to see what girls are doing all over the country. That's awesome! So I want to see what the red dot means. So a Journey Take Action project. Oh, that's neat. So this is also something that you and your troop could participate in by submitting your project right here. And please do, when you've got a Take Action project, submit it here so people know what's going on in Maine. It looks like maybe one troop did. 15, 11-year-old Girl Scout juniors contributed to the improvement of their local Girl Scout camp by adding 10 bunk beds for the camp's farmhouse at Cumberland Fairgrounds. That's awesome. And that was a few years ago, so we need some people to submit some newer Take Action projects too, so that girls around the country and around the world know what's going on here in Maine. But it's a great way for us to go in and see what gold projects are happening in all these different places. And I'm just going to click on travel because we were talking to somebody the other night about the volunteer toolkit, and she said that she liked the idea of travel, but she didn't want to send the girls out on destinations by themselves. She'd rather do something as a troop. And this getaways option is something that troops can do that's really very cool. And we've had a number of troops go on getaways. So something like going to Wicked for a day in New York City and getting a backstage experience as well as getting to see the show.
Yes, slide down and go to some of the ones in out on the Cape, like the Nantucket one or the
Right.
Eastland or.
Which one was
And don't worry about the
one? We
Yeah.
had a troop from Brunswick go surfing out on the Cape a couple years ago. But there are lots of these. I mean, I'm looking at several that are from California, but up here there were several from the New England area, and there are lots. There are many, many choices, and it's things that you can go to as a troop. Ooh, Broadway in Chicago, which would be silly, but because there probably is Broadway in
There's a Boston one too.
Boston. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, or explore Boston's Chinatown neighborhood. I've never done that. I've been to Boston a bunch of times, but that might be fun. So lots of different things that you can do, and somebody is taking out some of the guesswork for you when you go with your girls, but you definitely could go as a troop and have a lot of fun that way. So that's a neat thing. Washington, D.C. in the winter, very spiffy. And then if we were to go back to the Girl Scouts of Maine website, there's also every year we do big trips. So like this year we're doing the Washington, D.C. trip next month. And while it's too late to sign up for that, come fall, you'll see in the compass that there will be a trip to New York City. And I don't know if we're doing Quebec this year. I think it's just New York City. But, there's a big trip that's part of your progression too. So if you haven't done adventures like that with your girls, that's something that you can certainly do. What else is there to do besides travel, Miss Tammy? What are some things that your teen girls have done besides travel to develop some mastery?
My one thing is I would suggest if you aren't comfortable going out of the state, that you look inside the state. Maine has so much to offer. Girl Scouts of Maine always offers the whitewater rafting trip here in the summer, and that's an excellent trip. And you spend the night. It's always in the compass, and it's for older girls. My girls have done that a couple times and have loved it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always canoeing and kayaking. You can always find a guide that will take you canoeing and kayaking. And if you don't know who to contact, the same company that does the whitewater rafting does canoe and kayaking trips also.
Oh, nice.
And there's high adventure stuff. And again, the same company that does the whitewater rafting does high adventure weekends too, of ropes courses, climbing, and different things like that. So you can combine all that stuff for, a 3 or 4 day weekend up at that same company and do, like a rafting, do some climbing, doing a canoe trip, the whole bit.
Well, and what's cool about those is all of those activities go along with the high adventure badges that girls can earn at this level. The Girls' Choice badges, and I don't have a picture to go along with that. But if you look at the senior and the ambassador badges in the Girls' Choice badges from 2 years ago, they really push for the girls to go a little further, especially the ambassador one. It encourages girls to get certified in some sport or to try 5 different intense sports, whether it's hiking or the whitewater rafting or there was like trekking in the boats too. Lots of things that gets them a little bit out of their comfort zone, something that's going to challenge them a little bit more. And it's such a perfect time in a girl's life to do that extra little push, because lots of our girls, especially at the ambassador level, are starting to stress about, what am I going to do after high school? You know, I've got to get into college, and that's going to be hard, or I've got to get a job, and that's going to be harder. You know, I'm excited to get an apartment, but inside they're like, that's, you know, that's going to be expensive, and what do I do with that? And or I want to move away, but that's scary too. Even if you're excited about some things, it's scary. So to have these opportunities to really test yourself, to test your mettle, and try things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone will help to build their overall confidence about taking those next steps, about, you know, going to college or going to another state or a city to live for a while. I'm not encouraging you to push your girls out of the nest to stay forever at all. In fact, there's another part of me working to find careers in Maine that we can really entice girls to come back with. But I think that all of us benefit from a walkabout of sorts. And if we can help our girls through Girl Scouts with these challenging situations, with these stretch situations for them, then I think that we help prepare them to feel more powerful throughout their life. You know, they'll start associating themselves with having that mastery.
And if you aren't into high adventure, your girls aren't into high adventure, look at cooking. I don't know how many girls don't really know the first thing about cooking. And, you know, whether it's outside cooking with Dutch ovens and all the different ways you could cook outside, or even inside cooking. A lot of girls don't know how to plan meals and different things.
Well, and one of those badges, I think it's the ambassador badge, isn't it? They plan a dinner party. And I think that's awesome because it's hard. There's stuff involved in a dinner party, including planning conversation and figuring out how you're going to seat people. And I know lots of troops kind of get away with doing it just for their own troop, but how much more challenging would it be to do it for a group that you only know peripherally, like maybe setting up the teachers at one of the schools and doing a dinner party for them where you actually seat people at tables for conversation grouping, or I don't know, maybe even planning the dinner party for the adult volunteers in your service unit and doing place cards so that there is a Daisy Brownie Jr. teen troop at every single table or something like that. You know, somehow so you're challenging multiple levels, including the cooking, and cooking something really good. The challenge, I think, for a lot of the grown-ups with many of these high adventure things is, I'm not an expert in this. Where am I going to find a resource for this? If you don't feel like you're an expert in cooking or confident enough in cooking, go to the local VOTEC and find out who their teachers are in those departments, because we've had great success in the Brunswick, Lisbon area, Brunswick, Lewiston area, having teachers from those programs come and do cooking programs with us, or lending us some of their students to do that kind of teaching, which is also kind of awesome. Because if you've got 9th and 10th grade girls and you get a couple of seniors in high school who are essentially chefs come teach a workshop, that's cool, and it's cool for both sets of girls. So looking for resources. What are some other challenge things that you've seen, Tammy?
These girls know so much, the ambassador and senior level. They know so much, but yet they don't think they know so much.
Right.
One of the things that I used to challenge mine a lot with is sister troops, and running, working with a sister troop to teach them the basics of Girl Scouts, like what is Ants on a Log, the basic songs that we all know that a lot of the Daisy and Brownie leaders nowadays do not know. So our older girls know this stuff because they have learned it over the years through camp, through leaders, through workshops, this type of stuff. And they need to go back and relay that information to the younger girls. The younger girls look up to them so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's such an awesome thing. I talk about the glow effect all the time, about how little girls look at big girls and they just see them glowing. And big girls who exactly don't think they know stuff, totally know stuff. And they start to believe it when little girls are looking at them like they glow. And it's awesome to be seen as if you glow. And it's awesome for the little girls to see big girls and think, I could be like that. They never believe they're going to be adults, but they do believe they're going to be big girls. And so it's beautiful. And we can definitely get those big girls to sing more than we can get a lot of grown-ups to sing. So.
And act silly and do the things that, most of us are like embarrassed to stand up in front of them and do,
Exactly, exactly.
So those are the things that I wrote down for, simple for the people that aren't quite willing to, do the travel or that type of stuff.
Right. Now, I think that those are awesome things. The one more thing I'm going to add is planning a local event, or getting in on the committee for a statewide event, because we don't have tons of statewide events, but we do put on statewide events. And if girls are interested in helping in the planning process, it's as simple as they're making a phone call to say, hey, is there something statewide happening that we can help plan? Because wouldn't it be awesome for girls to be in on helping plan the Transforming Leadership Conference at UMO, or helping to plan a statewide camporee? It would be amazing. Or imagine if for Girls on the Go, you had a small committee of teen girls working with you to help strategize for trips, or I don't know. I don't know all of the behind the scenes stuff that you do. But I just think there's nothing better than when I have a committee of people helping me to plan something, mostly because it won't be they're helping me, it'll be they're planning it. And so I know they're going to like it better, and that the people who are going to go are going to like it better, because it'll feel like it came from them. So getting your girls in there planning, working on stuff is wonderful. Anything else you can think of, Tammy? Because another half hour has whistled by as if no time has passed.
Yes, it is.
Super, super. Well, if you're out there listening to this and you're thinking, well, I've got those teen girls, but I'm not sure that you touched on what I'm interested in, give us a call, because Tammy and I are always happy to hear what you've got to say, hear your thoughts and questions, any concerns that you have, and then to see if we can't figure out a way to help you, because it's like a big puzzle, and it's a puzzle we love. So don't hesitate. I'm going to click past a blank slide, I think, and then say thank you. Thank you so much for doing what you do and for taking some time to listen in on this. And thank you, Miss Tammy, for logging in. You're awesome.
Thank you.